Welcome everyone back to weekly weather updates, and in today's video we're going to have a look at the latest from the live radar, run through the UKV, have a look at the precipitation and the temperature over the next 5 days, which does of course include the Coronation weekend with the bank holiday Monday. Now unfortunately, as we did highlight in yesterday's video, it is looking pretty wet and pretty horrible through the weekend. There could be a bit of a glimmer of hope through Sunday in some areas to see something a bit warmer and drier, but through today, a lot of heavy showers and thunderstorms, as we'll see in a minute. Through tomorrow, more heavy rain, especially for England and Wales, perhaps drier further northwards and westwards. And then into Monday, it's looking like a complete washout for all areas with a big weather front moving in. It's associated with a much warmer air mass, but with low pressure wrapped around with it, it is going to be quite a bad day in terms of heavy rain, perhaps stronger winds as well. So the next few days not looking particularly great. A lot of rain around, could be some glimmers of sunshine and warmer temperatures, but as I said, be plenty of precipitation to keep us occupied. Beyond that, as we'll have a look at the GFS, GM, ECMWF and the ensembles through to sort of the middle of May now, it is looking continually unsettled and perhaps even colder, as we just see in yesterday's video. That trend continues, colder as we do head towards the middle of the month. Again, nothing ridiculous, it is May, so we can't really see anything that cold, but below average temperatures, temperatures perhaps in the mid to low teens for the top temperature of the day, so not looking particularly encouraging. Again, we have been saying for a number of days and a number of weeks that at some point we'll see something a bit drier and warmer. It's inevitable that a big high pressure system will eventually build in, but not looking likely in the meantime. So do remember, if you enjoy my videos, make sure you like and subscribe, and remember to follow me on Twitter as well, the link's in the description. So do start on the live radar. You can see it is quite an unsettled day in places. Again, recording this around 10:30, so the real convection hasn't properly started yet. It's starting probably by the time you're watching this video. So at the moment, there are plenty of drier patches, but we're going to see a lot more of these reds and oranges that are already popping up into parts of East Anglia. Those will pop up more widely over the next couple of hours as convection really takes place. Now you can see a bit of lingering persistent rain is now drifting off the northeast. Some areas in parts of Northern Ireland, Republic of Ireland and elsewhere, it is just convection taking place, and this will become quite widespread for the afternoon. So most areas will see some sort of downpour at some point through this evening, especially through the Midlands and Northern England. Further southwards, unless you're seeing it now, you may escape it as the main instability does shift northwards through the day. But as we'll see in the UKV in a minute, most areas will see some sort of showers over the course of this afternoon. And you can see the instability across parts of northern France too. Again, associated with warmer air there, so always going to be slightly higher in intensity and in their widespread nature. But those are sort of similar conditions we could be seeing for us through this afternoon. Now, if you put on the temperatures, the air mass is pretty mild actually at the moment. You can see temperatures around the sort of the low to mid-teens at the moment. Could be getting up to higher teens or even 20 degrees in a few spots. Best conditions looking likely in the northwest at the moment, and through parts of, East Anglia, again, where we're avoiding some of the rain, and we haven't seen rain early this morning, and seeing a bit of sunshine, but it will be very regional through the rest of this afternoon, simply because of the heavy showers and thunderstorms that could pop off and cool down those temperatures locally. But you can see again, quite a big north-south divide. North is always going to be cooler, but areas further southwards generally milder, but won't be all too mild when we do see that rain through the afternoon. If we do now have a look at the precipitation and the temperature over the next 5 days, you can see around midday those thunderstorms really pop off. And as I said, it's sort of that M4 line northwards, sort of Midlands really is the peak area, and you can see most areas are going to have some sort of heavy shower or thunderstorm in the vicinity, and that will continue through the rest of the evening before starting to die out around sort of 4 or 5 p.m. and completely degrading away around sort of 9 or 10. Into tomorrow though, as I said, it's the Coronation weekend and it's not looking great. Look at that rain moving into the south, and for many areas of England and Wales through tomorrow afternoon, it's quite thick cloud and outbreaks of moderate to heavy rain. Again, the far south, the far southeast could clear the persistent rain by the middle of the afternoon, because you see plenty of sort of moderate to light showers moving in, potentially some drizzle, just thick, miserable conditions out there. Further northwards and westwards, drier, perhaps a bit of sunshine or even warmer temperatures at times, but heavy showers and thunderstorms popping off in those regions too. As we head into Sunday, the forecast is improving a little bit. Rain that clears through Saturday lingers along the far east through the morning, perhaps, and into the early afternoon. We could see some heavy showers and thunderstorms pop off in a few spots along the east coast. Again, we'll have to see if those actually do occur or not, because the instability is pulling away. But you can see for most areas it's actually pretty dry and could be seeing some sunshine through western areas, through sort of the central areas of the United Kingdom. So it could be actually fairly decent. That has improved since yesterday, where we still had a bit of that weather front lingering and that instability was further westward, so more areas impacted by some rain. However, into Monday, a big wall of rain arrives, and you can see for most areas, as you wake up in the morning, heavy rain moving in. The Far East could escape it, but all areas are going to be peppered by this rain for most of the day, and by the afternoon, still heavy rain in most areas of England, Wales, perhaps subsiding a bit in Scotland, maybe parts of Republic of Ireland, Northern Ireland, but then heavy showers and thunderstorms pop off, especially for parts of the Republic of Ireland where it could be quite severe there through Monday afternoon. As we head into Tuesday, typically, everyone back to work, and it's a slightly drier day. Again, some showers in the west, but for most of England, Wales and Scotland, it's fairly dry and fairly pleasant. But we're going to just continue to oscillate between low pressure and a high pressure over the coming days and the coming weeks, as we see quite an unsettled westerly flow. Now, if you look at the max temperatures, they will be very much up and down over the coming days, simply because we do have a generally warm air that should allow pretty decent conditions at the surface. Because of the rain and the cloud, it will hold it back quite considerably. So you see this afternoon, temperatures could peak around 17 or 18 degrees, but that's areas where we do avoid the rain and the showers and the thunderstorms. Where those do occur, more likely 13, 14 or 15. As we head into Saturday afternoon, again, it could be really quite horrible in places. The best places across parts of Republic of Ireland and Scotland, where we do avoid that, maybe the far southwest of England. Could be 17 or 18 degrees there under some clearer skies, but under the rain and cloud through most of England and Wales, look at that, 12 to 14 degrees, really quite horrible. And we'll probably feel quite a bit cooler out there as well. As we do head into Sunday, it could actually be quite a much better day there. If we look at 3 p.m. in the afternoon, look at that, widely 18 to 20 degrees. Just shows you what sunshine can do and just drier conditions. That could happen on Saturday if we didn't have that rain moving in. Again, just showing the power of the sun this time of year and the power of rain and cloud to hold down those temperatures. So Sunday is starting to look like a pretty decent day. Of course, we always have to caveat that rain could linger a little bit more and could give a cooler morning or early afternoon, but the latest signal is for it to all clear really by the mid-morning and for most of the day to be pretty sunny and pretty warm. As we head into Monday, however, another pretty miserable day again, widely sort of 13 to 15 degrees the far west and the far north, could see 18 to 20, but most areas are pretty cool. And then as we head into Tuesday, could be a decent day through central and eastern areas, again 18 to 20 degrees, further northwards and westwards, slightly cooler, but not too bad. So Tuesday, a nicer day, Sunday a nicer day, but other than that, it's going to be quite horrible. So very, very up and down. So if you have got plans for this weekend, Sunday is looking likely to be the best day to do anything, as Saturday for most of England and Wales is going to be a washout, areas further northwards, westward, thunderstorms, and for Monday pretty much everywhere is going to be having pretty horrible wet and cloudy weather. So if you do now have a look at the long range, see if there's any glimpses of anything better as we do head into the middle of May. Now you can see the low pressure running into us at the moment, and that's just going to give us our unsettled conditions over the weekend. Not a huge area of low pressure moving in, and that's why it's quite a hit and miss where we see that precipitation. And of course, we're not seeing too much in terms of windy weather as the low pressure does fill in. Beyond that, we stay fairly unsettled into next week, oscillating between low pressure and high pressure. But right towards day 7, we could actually see high pressure ridge in for a couple of days there, but low pressure equally moving in, especially for the north. And we could see some more intense low pressure systems developing there with some tighter ice bars, wet and windy there. Into the longer term, we continue to see low pressure pepper us all the way till 384 hours. So there will be some decent days there, just like we're going to see on Sunday and on Tuesday, but equally there will be some horrible days like Saturday and Monday. So very, very up and down. Will be glimpses of something summery out there, glimpses of something really nice, warm and dry, but it won't be lasting all too much more than maybe a day or two here or there, as we're going to repeatedly see low pressure try to run in. And of course, with that tilt in the jet stream coming more from the northwest here, rather than the west or the southwest like it's been over the last few days and will be over the next few days, it does mean those air masses are cooler too. So it will mean we see more of these greens moving in, below average air masses. You can see that on the temperature deviation, and that will just mean that we will be more likely than not cooler than average. If we do look at the GM now, again, low pressure moving in over the coming days and continue to dominate into early next week. Again, you can still see the tilting ice bars are still southwesterly, but by sort of the middle to end of next week, they could tilt more northwesterly. However, GM has high pressure slightly more in control here, and the jet stream shifted slightly further northwards. So this is not bone dry conditions, because you can see we're not under the centre of the high. It's sort of an extension of the Azores high. We've still got a bit of instability around. You can see that slightly lower pressure could build here, perhaps in the Bay of Biscay. So still a showery pattern, but quite a bit better than what the GFS was showing. And look at the upper air temperatures. Around average here, really, and again, we're very close to those below average air masses. You can see it on temperature deviation, we're around average or slightly above, very close to those blues, but they're not quite pushing in because the jet stream is holding to our north instead. Very interesting seeing that. That pattern is very similar to what most models are showing, but it could be quite a decent outcome compared to what the majority have, which is that jet stream shifting slightly further southwards, northwest alignment, cooler, unsettled conditions. So if we have a look at what the ECMWF is doing, again, low pressure is in control over the coming days. Again, southwesterly tilt of the jet stream, eventually low pressure runs in next week. Brief extension of the Azores high, and right towards day 10, we're kind of in between actually, between the GFS and the GM. We got that extension of the Azores high, dominating southern and western areas, but further northwards and eastwards, we got the low pressure moving in, and those cooler air masses are in as well. So this is actually quite a cool pattern, but slightly drier than the GFS was showing. So we got three sort of runs that are very similar, but all different in terms of the exact shift and tilt of the jet stream, which will decide how unsettled it is and how chilly it is as well. Again, you can see this ECMWF run doesn't look too bad in terms of the pressure pattern, but look at those temperatures, would be pretty chilly indeed. Now, the best way to view this is looking at the ensembles. You can see the next sort of 5 days we're warmer than average, but quite a lot of precipitation around for London here. However, as we head into the middle of next week, in around 5 days' time, we do see those upper air temperatures drop to average or below average, all the way to around the 20th of May. Now, I doubt that's exactly how it will play out. There will be brief bumps up and down, but the general trend of below average means the majority of the ensemble members do have that northwest tilt of the jet stream, and we do see a continuation of a lot of precipitation there. Could be some brief signs of it lulling a little bit at times, with not too many big spikes, maybe only some showery weather, but still, nonetheless, still pretty horrible, and you can see some real big rainfall there through Monday. Really, really not too great. And again, you can look at the 2 meter temperatures, could be warm over the coming days, but you can see how up and down it is. See, today, fairly decent. Tomorrow, horrible. Sunday, decent. Monday, horrible. And then Tuesday decent again, and it's longer term, staying around that sort of mid to high teens point. But again, it will be very variable when that precipitation is sort of more nailed on. And finally, if we look at the ECMWF ensembles, again, very similar, above average over the next 5 days, with quite a bit of precipitation. Around the 9th, 10th of May, so early next week, we drop down below average and stay below average for the foreseeable future with higher precipitation. So very similar to the GFS, so pretty good cross-model consensus here of average to below average upper air temperatures and still quite high precipitation amounts. Not what we want to be seeing through May. Hopefully things do change, but for the time being, even though this weekend is going to be very up and down, there's going to be some good days, there's going to be some very bad days, do cherish the good moments, because even though it is unsettled generally, the upper air temperatures are pretty warm, and it does mean any glimpse of sunshine will allow those temperatures to rise. However, if we did see this sort of pattern with these cooler upper air temperatures dropping down to perhaps 0 degrees, it would mean even with the sunshine, temperatures probably struggle around those mid-teen points, so not particularly great into the longer term. Hopefully, as I said, things will change, but for the time being, make sure you enjoy what is going, what is going to happen over the next few days, and have a good bank holiday weekend. So anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoy. Make sure you stay safe out there. A lot of rain and potentially thunderstorms around, but equally enjoy that sunnier weather. And I'll see you again for another video soon.